Hey Monkey family, hope everyone's doing well. Checking in on the project Green Day, which is very welcome. You can see we ended up at 380,000 market cap, and you see that nice recovery here on the chart from a low of under 320,000 back up to 380,000, kind of wiping out the drop over the last few days. And so incredible news, and probably even bigger news is that the market overall is recovering nicely. And whether it's going to be sustained or not is yet to be seen. But as I mentioned, I'm extremely bullish on crypto overall. So I kind of knew it was just a matter of time before it came back a bit. And but nice to see it happening so quickly. You can see Bitcoin up to 93,600. And you can see that's a nice almost 8% gain over 24 hours, which is huge for Bitcoin. Solana as well, up almost 13% to 143, which is great news. And hopefully this continues and things just stabilize overall. So congrats for hanging in there and holding and not selling. And I just want to remind everybody, and I know you guys know this, but the community is what makes Monkey so great. And not just because of the shilling and the bag work and the encouragement, but also for the holder health of the project, meaning we've got quality holders who are adding more, onboarding family members, holding, chilling, and all of that means that the folks are more likely to hold when we start running. And that's the key. The whales that have held from the beginning or close to the beginning, we need them to hold as much as possible and not dump their bags when we start running. Like if we get up to 10 million or 20 million, it's going to be tempting to take a lot of profits. I'm not telling you what to do, but because of the way the community believes in the project and the fact that we're going so much higher, that will help, I think, keep the chart going as more people come in. The original holders that are now whales aren't going to immediately sell their whole bags right away in one clip. And that just leads to overall health of the project and is one of the reasons why I'm extremely bullish. So if we go back and look at the news on X, uh, an interesting thing, not directly monkey related, but to me it kind of is Slinger was doing a giveaway, and he actually did send me some of this still good token. But what I thought was cool is when I posted under the uh, original post where he's saying post your address, I'm going to send you something. I posted, and then he said, "You work your butt off," and said, "You're still good." So I thought this was cool because he sees how we're working as a community and shilling monkey and doing updates and just staying active. And I think that's a big thing when a big account like Slinger notices that. And we just really need one catalyst, maybe Sling buys. I think he owned Monkey for a bit, and unless he moved it, I don't think it's in his main wallet anymore. He might have sold it. He's been doing a lot of things. If you follow him at all on his Telegram with LMAO and Banger and some other things, Wojak obviously, and so he's been injecting a lot of capital and has tons of motion. So to have him notice our community like this is incredibly bullish, and maybe he buys in more and does some things later on once he's done with Wojak and some of these other things. But he's got a lot of stuff going on. But I was extremely bullish about this, and it might not be Slinger. It could be another influencer or someone big who endorses monkeys. So don't stop shilling. Don't stop working your bags. It is noticed by folks, and so it was good to see this. For the broader market, Watcher Guru here says just in 180 billion added to the crypto market cap today, and that was 7 hours ago. I think it's gone up even more since then. So, but that was 180 billion added. Almost everything's green, which is incredible. And so good news for the market and for Monkey, obviously. Evan Luthra says this is exactly what happened when CZ talked about an all-time high last time. Never Fade, the biggest KOL on X, talking about an all-time high. You heard it here. And he points out that back in June, he mentioned all-time high, and then we went from, looks like, under 100,000 up to the all-time high over 124,000. And then today he mentioned it as well, and we'll look at more about that at that post later. He says, I predict many more all-time highs coming soon. I just don't know exactly when. And he predicted that here. And it looks like that was at 87,000 or so. And since then we've gone up, almost 8%. So uh, good signs. And CZ knows he's been through tons of cycles, and he's famous for saying, if you can't hold, you won't be rich. And so this is just a good warning to not panic sell the bottom or anything like that. This is crypto. It's very volatile and swings back and forth wildly. So don't get discouraged about the charts on a day-to-day basis. For a project like Monke, we just need to keep on working, and I think we are going to make it. Young Hoon Kim, he's, I think he's got the highest IQ in the world, I think. Yep, world's highest IQ holder, IQ of 276. He has it right there in his name here. So by some measures, the smartest man in the world says the bull market has begun. So, maybe, just because he's smart and has high IQ doesn't mean he's good at investing necessarily. But, take from this guy, he's got a higher IQ than you and I, and he thinks the bull market has begun. So I'll take it. We'll call it bullish. Watcher Guru says, just in, Federal Reserve officially ends quantitative tightening, meaning things are going to loosen up. More money is going to be flowing. That's bullish for the markets, including crypto and including our meme coins like Monkey. Watcher Guru, another one, says, just in, President Trump says there will be no income tax at some point in the not too distant future. And this is huge. Here in the US, we pay a lot of taxes, or most of us do, I should say. And if there's no income tax, that just means there's going to be more money available for people to buy things in the economy, and obviously more money to invest. And when the economy is doing well, the markets start doing well. And so this could be huge. This could be huge. I think he's going to use the tariff revenue to help offset it. This could be big. I mean, I know I'd personally buy a lot more Monkey if we didn't have income tax, or if I get a huge tax return or something like that. Probably not going to happen this year, I'm guessing. But at some point in the next 3 years, if he could do that, that'd be huge for the economy and for our bags. Store.fun, longtime supporter of Monkey. We got the plush there available. Says it's going to be a fun Christmas, and then has a picture here of a Christmas tree, and you can see the Monkey plush hanging there on the tree. So shout out to store.fun. Here's that quote from CZ. It says, I predict many more all-time highs coming soon. I just don't know exactly when. This is bullish. CZ knows what he's talking about. And after this was posted, you can see what happened with Bitcoin. Went up quite a bit since then, so he's spot on. Jakey says, an iPhone, access to Wi-Fi, and the ability to hold your convictions, an unstoppable human, the upper echelon of life on Earth, you will be rewarded. I think this applies perfectly to Monkey. All you need is just the ability to buy and hold and have some conviction, believe in something, and we will be rewarded. So I like this post. And niftywap.eth says, I swear to God, I've never seen more bearish mindshare leadership in my life. The top coals come on this app every single day to remind you that they have zero crypto and that the industry they made all their money in is going to zero. I seriously cannot remember a time where the top of our industry consisted of people who seemingly hold zero crypto and come here daily to remind you that they were right. Yeah, I think, and I don't know if it's engagement farming or what, but I did notice, not so much today obviously, but in the past couple weeks when things have dipped, folks just get extremely bearish and they say, is it over? We missed the top again, things like that. And I always thought it's a little bit of an overreaction. because we know crypto's volatile and it's always been that way. And so I think there's a time where we just go up forever and ever and ever. But I mean, to expect it now doesn't really make sense. It's going to happen at some point, but I think the bearish attitude of folks really increased in prior days. So I'm glad the market's looking a lot better, and hopefully people have a more positive mindset going forward. It seems like people get super happy when everything's green, and then when it's red, they start thinking it's over. It's not over, even when the chart's red, like we've been doing with Monkey, adding more when you can when the charts are red. That's the way to make the real money, right? So even if it is a bit of a bear market or at least a short-term red market, you can still make money. In fact, this is where the money is made by buying and DCAing and all that. Lil Toro says, if you try to catch everything, you will miss everything. Focus on a few conviction plays. And I don't know if anyone's had the same issue. You know, I say don't touch your monkey bag at all. If you believe in the project and where we're going, it's very dangerous to trade and think, oh, I'm just going to buy back a monkey. It's not going anywhere because remember, it just takes one little catalyst for it to run, and I wouldn't want you to be monkey line. So to me, what I do is if you're going to bet on some other things, some of Slinger stuff, or whatever comes across Pokemon stuff, all good stuff, but use different money. That way you're not rotating in and out of monkey and decreasing your position. Now I know if you catch a runner and you use some of your monkey money, then you can buy back and it might be lower or the same price, or you just might have more money. I get that, but just be careful with that because if you're moving around too much, you're going to end up getting racked from what I've seen, unless you're really good at trading. And so just keep that in mind. Not financial advice, obviously. I'm not an expert, but that's just what's worked for me. All right, well, thank you everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, don't forget to follow folks on TikTok if you're on there. Like I said, Monkey Flip's on there, Dan's on there, and a few other folks, and also on YouTube. I know King Charlie's on there. I'm on there. So follow the content there. The actual interactions there. There's more interactions for Shilling than on X, in my opinion. We've heard that before, that X kind of has the same CT folks that have been here for a while, and I think Shilling works well for them, but you're not going to get as much interaction as you do on TikTok. And I've found that I've had the TikTok account for maybe a couple of weeks, and I have seen there's more comments, more back and forth, and more engagement, which is good. All right, don't forget to follow the Monkey Soul _ account here on X. And thank you, everybody. Keep up the great work. Bye.